up, everybody? So, tonight's our first edition of the Sean and Bonnie Show. And, actually, it's our second edition. We had
first edition since we titled it.
You're right, absolutely. So, this is the first night we're off together, so it's been a little bit since we got back from our trip in Tennessee. And right now, we're just going to talk to Bonnie today to see what she thought about this year's Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival. So this was your first year.
Yes, it was.
And it was a little chilly.
A little chilly, a little wet.
A little wet.
Because we got rained on.
So tell me what your experience from the ride from leaving in the morning and going all the way to Tennessee, all the way through the revival and back.
Well, we had a good trip over.
Yeah, excellent, beautiful.
Really, and we had good weather. It was a little cold at the beginning, but once we got on the road, it warmed up. It was fine, and it was great meeting Jesse and Noah in Tennessee and having lunch with them. We got into the what about 4:30? We were at the motorcycle.
4:30. Actually, we got to the
campground
around
4:30, and then we got hurried. And
why'd we get hurried?
Because you hurried everyone.
I did?
Yes.
I didn't hurry anybody.
Yes, he hurried us. And so we got over to the Loretta Lynn, to the motorcycle rally, and we had a good evening. I think it was a little disappointing for you especially because there was maybe a third of the vendors.
Well, last year was, there was a lot more vendors. If you look at some of my old videos on the 2018 event, you will see there was like double rows of vendors and you go in between them.
Yeah. This
year there was like just one row of vendors, and it just didn't seem like, I don't know. I don't know if it was just the weather scared people away or what happened, but it didn't seem like there were many people there either. If you look at my 2018 music venue pictures, compared to the 2019, you hardly see anybody in the 2019 one.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big venue there, so you can fit a lot of people in there.
Yeah, I mean, you can move around with absolutely no problem this year. That was down, like you said, traffic seemed to be down from last year. And the bands that we got to hear were pretty good. We just didn't get to spend enough time listening to the music. We took friend with us, and then our friend Hector was there with his cartel baggers, and so we spent a lot of time with them.
He was a vendor, and I think he, I think he was looking for more attendance.
Definitely.
I think he broke even maybe that weekend. But I think too, based on it being moved up a week more, it was a week earlier last year. And if we'd have went a week earlier this year, they said it was like 91 degrees in Tennessee. Yeah. So it went from 91 this week to 36 this week.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people didn't ride. There's a lot of FairWeather riders.
Yeah.
And they don't like riding in cold or rain or anything. We rode probably 25 miles in pouring down rain.
Yeah.
We had to go to Walmart, which Walmart's like 15 miles from where we were staying. So we went to Walmart. It started drizzling a little bit before we went in Walmart. When we come out, it was pouring. We actually went back, when we were in, we actually bought some new Frog Tog rain gear at Walmart. And still got soaking wet. That's how hard it was pouring.
Yeah. Went back, got dried off, changed clothes, and thought that the rain was going to clear up, started back to the venue and got rained on again.
Well, the radar the radar showed that the rain was clearing out, and it did stop for a moment of time, and we
Yeah.
thought that everything was going to clear up and it was going to be good, and unfortunately we got about 2 miles down the road, it started pouring again. So as soon as we got to the venue, we were going to stay, and because where the music is underneath a big metal building or
Right.
pole built barn like thing. So we were going to stay, but then our friend Hector packed up his stuff and he went back. So since they weren't staying, we all went back to the cabin.
Right.
So
Yeah.
not sure Hector liked the cabins.
Hector didn't like the cabins.
I think he's
Hector's not staying in cabins next year.
I think he's gonna get a hotel.
Hotel.
Actually, he fussed at me. I'm a simple kind of guy, so I'm good with a cabin. They were fussing at me,
No
including
bathrooms.
Bonnie, because you have to run across the parking lot over there to go to the shower house to get to the restrooms and stuff. But it's like traditional camping. It's a cabin with heat and air, and that's it. I mean, you
And a
got
bed.
in a bed. Well, yeah, bed in there, but the bed wasn't comfortable either. But anyway, I've stayed at cabins a lot. I like the cabins. I'm a cabin person. Hector, I think, would rather have a hotel. I think Bonnie would rather have a hotel. Matter of fact, Hector, he fussed at me a little bit because he's like, "Oh, you tell me about this KOA campground, but you don't tell me about any of the hotels that are
The
there."
10 hotels surrounding it.
I don't, because I don't stay in hotels. It costs more money, and I go the cheap route. Sorry, I'm a cheap person. So I like the cabins. Apparently nobody else did. So that's how it is.
Not when it's 30 degrees in the middle of the night.
You
And
got
you're
heat?
traipsing across the parking lot to go to the restroom.
Oh well.
So
I'm not sure the shower rooms had heat. I think they were
didn't feel like it.
I don't think they had heat or nothing. Just a window open.
Just
So-
hot and cold running water was it. But all in all, it was a good trip.
Too short.
Little short. Looking forward to next year and hoping that the turnout's better. And I'd like to see a whole lot more vendors.
They did say they had 30% more pre-sales, but I'm not sure people that got tickets showed up.
Right.
I don't think a lot of them did. Let's go over a little bit about our new Torque helmets that we bought. Tell me a little about what you think about our Torque helmets that we bought, especially for this trip. We bought 2 helmets that has Blink Bluetooth built into the helmet. It's a Torque T14B. T14B.
Yeah.
And we were like all excited because I'm not a helmet guy. When we rode the whole time I rode in Illinois, it's a no helmet state. I never wore a helmet. Here I went to a half helmet because North Carolina is a helmet state, so you have to wear a helmet. So I do have a DOT approved half helmet. But for this trip, since it was so long and Bonnie was going with me this time, we went ahead and purchased 2 Torque T14B helmets, and they're full face shield, mask, and everything. And they had the built-in Bluetooth intercom system, and we connected, and actually they worked okay up until about 65 mile an hour.
50 really.
About
50.
you think?
Yeah, from 50 on we got. But at 60, forget it. You can't. You know that, like, I knew you were talking, but couldn't make out a bit of what you were saying.
And the interstate in Tennessee, parts of it are 70, 70 mile an hour. And we probably stayed between 75 and 80. And we just could not talk to each other. We ended up coming back and not even turning them on because you just can't hear. It was just like a bunch of garble. So we're trying to figure out a better system for that. hopefully we can find a remedy for that, because I really would like to communicate, because it's hard to turn around and listen and say, huh, what'd you say, and not be looking at the road. I want to be looking at the road and still be able to talk comfortably. I haven't tried the music in it. It's Bluetooth phone connected. I haven't tried none of that, but I don't think it's going to work either. I think when you get to a certain speed, it's going to be too much wind noise coming up through the helmet, and I'm not sure it's going to work very well. So what did you think of? You have a little bit of issue with sciatic nerve.
Yes.
We bought those gel seat pads for my bike, because my bike's not made to tour. It's not made for long distance. It's not made to ride really many miles, and that's a 5.5 hour ride. How do you think the gel pad, the foam, the ones we bought was $110 for a set, and it actually has memory foam and it has gel on top of the memory foam. Yeah. So, what did you think about that, riding 5.5 hours to Tennessee?
I think the trip over was fine, but considering there isn't a soft seat to be had for 3 days, you're sitting on hard surfaces. So by Sunday coming back, it was a real struggle for me with the sciatic nerve. But our friend Donnie, who has the Street Glide, let me ride the last 2 hours with him coming back, so that helped relieve some of that issue. But
and then we bought floorboards for you to make you more comfortable.
Because before we got those, I'm basically on tiptoes trying to keep my shoes off the side pipe, so that was a big help.
And I get a little agitated when the bottoms of shoes melt on my exhaust pipes.
Yeah. So you gotta have somewhere to put your feet, other than your tiptoes.
I broke down and bought floorboards for her.
Yeah, for the rear, yeah.
Yeah, just for the rear. I may get them for the front.
The moral of the story is we need a Street Glide.
The moral of the story is I'm not paying for a Street Glide. My bike's almost paid for. So on to other things. I have been thinking about this summer, or this winter, excuse me. Actually working on, all through the year, trying to build a custom motorcycle. Little by little, piece by piece. I want to build it from the ground up. And I believe we looked at an Arlen Ness frame the other day.
Yeah, we did.
Right? And they only wanted like $500 for it. Now, that's a little steep for me right now. But it'd be nice to start off with an Arlen Ness frame, you know. So then we'd have to look into a motor for it, and tires, wheels, all the other parts, cables, electric. I mean, everything that needs to go into it. But I really, really am serious about this year trying to build a custom bike. Now, it's not going to be the prettiest bike. It's not going to be something that looks, like Jesse James or somebody would build, or the Tuttles on the OCC chopper. I'm never going to get to that point. I mean, maybe someday, but this is just going to be a basic, street bob maybe.
Yeah.
And 2 wheels, a motor, a seat, some handlebars, lights, and ride down the road. That's about it.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, it might make it around the neighborhood block before it breaks down. But so I really want to do that. So I'm gonna look at working towards that, and on my days off for a little hobby of getting that going. I think we got to figure out a way to get more viewers on our Twitter page.
Yes, we do.
What is it? Twitter.com/bikes_music. Right? Yeah. I think so.
You
If
have
not-
to double check.
If not, I'll edit it in the link here. I'll put a link to it
Yeah.
underneath the video when I edit the video.
Mhm.
So what else is on our agenda for motorcycle trips? We have there's been a few toy runs. There's one coming up, I think, this Saturday. Coming up in
I think,
is that Haywood County? I think Haywood
but I
County.
think you're scheduled to work.
No, I work midnights. I get off that day. Then I'm
Oh, okay,
off
so you
Saturday
could
and
go
Sunday.
for
I
that
could.
ride. Okay.
There's a toy run, Haywood County, North Carolina, this Saturday. And then I believe the 23rd of November is Henderson County, North Carolina toy run. You can just Google that. It's all online. I think I posted the information on Twitter. So once I get the Twitter page, I post that information anyway.
Right.
Our Twitter page that I started is mainly going to be motorcycle music and babes. Right?
Yeah, that's
what we
you
say.
named it.
We're actually looking for some amateur models to model and do photography stuff on bikes, and we're probably going to do some advertising for Hector and Cartel Baggers if we get our photography stuff going.
Right.
So if anybody out there has any ideas or has anybody that is not a professional but because right now we're on this low budget. I can't afford to pay for real models, so we're on a very low budget on this program here. This TV program that we've started is very low budget.
This is a showing project.
Showing
See
project.
how it goes.
I think it's gonna go pretty well. Once I learn more about that editing software and get everything under wraps, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else on the agenda? Is there anything that you would like to say? Like you said, we went to Nashville on our way to the rally.
I'm glad we took the time to go by Loretta Lynn's house before we came back.
Right. She wanted to see Loretta Lynn's mansion, so we went down there on the Sunday before we left and checked out the mansion. It was a beautiful day.
It was.
That day when we left. It was a beautiful day when we went, beautiful day when we came home. In between, kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about your first Blue Knights meeting?
It was alright.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the food?
It was good. I'd go to another one. And we've invited all the Blue Knights here for chili later in November, so we're hoping we have a good turnout for that.
Right. We've asked everybody to RSVP so we know how much chili to make. I hate to have 30 people show up and we not have chili made.
Right.
That would
For
really
30,
be
that would be embarrassing.
Ain't like we ain't done embarrassing things before.
I try not to get in those situations.
So anyway, yeah, we're just we're gonna try to do at least a weekly show, right? On something different each week.
Yeah.
Most of it's probably gonna be about motorcycles or music. So anybody that enjoys motorcycles and music, hopefully you like the material we post on here. You like the bands that we post on here. I also want to start a thing soon if I can get some of my friends together and actually do some interviews with some musicians that I worked with in the past who, matter of fact, we talked about going to Nashville. We visited Jesse and Noah Bellamy, who are very good friends of mine. I've known them for, I don't know, since maybe 2006, somewhere in there. Maybe later than that. I'm not sure. They're really, really good guys. They've actually just gave me permission to use some of their music on some of our videos. I've been having little issues with copyright things. I've not gotten in any trouble because I use a lot of copyright-free music that's posted online. But I do have some musicians that are members of BMI and different ASCAT and different agencies that don't allow you to use their music, even though it's their music, unless you have actual permission from the artist. So I do know a lot of artists with a lot of great music. So I have gotten permission from the Matt Poss band and my good friend Matt Poss. He's from Illinois. Has an awesome band. If you ever get a chance, go to www.mattpossband.com. Check him out. Get some merchandise, man. He's a good guy. Help support him. He's an independent artist. Jesse and Noah Bellamy. Just go to jesseandnoah.com. Help them out. They got some albums on there for sale. Those guys are really, really good about letting me use music. Jeff McCool, nicknamed Brahma Bull, who is part of Moccasin Creek. They have given me, I've had permission from them in the past to use a couple of their songs and videos. So, I mean, there's some good people out there with some good music that hadn't been heard, and I like to try to use independent music on a lot of my stuff. I like to have music that people hasn't heard, so when they look at the video, they're like, oh, wow, that's an awesome song. Who sings that? Of course, I'm going to put the credits for the band in the end of the video and everything. So just try to go and support them guys, try to help them, because I tell you, I feel like live music's going out. I don't think there's many places with live music anymore. I guess, I don't know, cheaper to get a DJ or something like that, because people don't understand the aspect of when a band travels. You know, people think $2,000, $2,500 is a lot for a band that'll come do a 3 or 4 hour show, but it's really not. If they're coming from Nashville, Tennessee, you got to figure they pay their fuel expense, they got, hotel expenses, they got food expenses, they got to pay their band members, they got wear and tear on their equipment. I mean, it costs a lot of money, and a lot of clubs that I used to deal with on booking, trying to book bands and stuff, would say, oh, that's too much money, that's too much money. But you got a club making $60,000, $70,000 on a weekend and can't spend $2,000 for a good band because they'd rather pay $50 for a backyard garage band that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
To be honest with
Yeah, it does.
Because they figure people get drunk, they don't care what the music sounds like. But I care what the music sounds like when I go to a club.
Right.
I don't go to many clubs, but when I go somewhere, I like to hear good music.
Right.
And to be honest with you, there's a lot more independent artists out there that are good and professional artists that actually suck. In my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion. So, this whole thing with motorcycles and music, it's two of my biggest passions.
Yeah.
Motorcycles and music. Women used to be, but
Dave's is the third now.
women used to be a
Throw that
passion.
order.
But I had to cut that one out. I had to cut that one out before I get myself in trouble. Now, anyway, Bonnie's a great woman. She's a great sport. She gets a little aggravated sometimes at things, but she's grumpy sometimes. She is getting old though. Anyway.
You moan and groan more about getting old than anybody I know.
I am getting old. It's crappy getting old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think
that
you got anything
wraps
else
it
to
up.
say?
No, I think
It's
that.
going to wrap it
I
up?
think that wraps it
What do you
up.
want to do now? Go watch a movie?
Huh? I don't know.
We can go watch motorcycle movies.
Yeah, we could do that.
So what we always do is we go to Prime and we search motorcycles and we watch all kind of motorcycle documentaries and Sturgis rallies and this rally and that rally
Motorcycle clubs.
and motorcycle clubs and I like to do a lot of research on that stuff
Yeah.
and keep. Also, I want to say a shout out to my motorcycle club, Blue Knights out of Morganton, North Carolina, law enforcement motorcycle club. They're about 80 miles away from me. I'm the furthest member away from the chapter, so sometimes it's hard for me to get there and ride with them guys, but I do what I can to support them. I actually bought some of these rubber bracelets. I don't know if you can see them, but I bought a bunch for the chapter. Just says Blue Knights Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, and then on the back side it's got North Carolina 23, which is our chapter out of Morganton. Most of them liked them, I think.
Yeah, I
They
think
thought it
so.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have our meetings once a month, and whenever I'm not working, I actually do ride to Morganton, which, like I say, is about 79, 80 miles from us. And I try to attend whatever I can. A lot of great guys and gals in the chapter. We have a lot of great supporters of the chapter. And I believe we're up to about 50 members or so now between actual members and support. We're up to about 50, something like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can start getting that bike put together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if Bonnie will help me. I don't know though.
Do what?
The wheel might go on crooked.
I doubt that. But I really don't like getting my hands
Yeah, you don't like it. She doesn't like
Dirty.
your hands dirty.
greasy. No, thanks.
You could model. Got a bikini.
Oh, Lord.
Gotta wear a bikini though.
Yeah, I think we
Or
better
some-
find some
or
models.
Or some short shorts with
Yeah.
some one of them fishnet legging stockings or something.
Oh, you gotta tear holes in them though to be styling now.
Okay. Well, we can get some scissors to them.
Back in my day, they threw them away. They got a hole in them.
That's 'cause you're old.
I am not old. But now it seems like that's the thing, the big holes in them.
Big holes in them.
Big.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get some short shorts with nylon with fishnet stockings with holes in them. That's the new
So
style.
anybody who wants to model that, give us a call.
All right, she's on board with it. She's on board, so we're good.
Yeah.
But so anyway, we hope that we make a success out of this. We hope that everything goes well with this.
Yeah.
And if it don't, hell, we'll just think
Keep
of something
having
else.
fun. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll just have fun
Right.
and do something else. So any other motorcycle stuff? Any other
No.
things that we want to go over?
Nope.
We appreciate Donnie for riding with us
Yeah.
to Tennessee.
It was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Fixed your bike.
Yes, that was something we
Gave
did not
me a
mention.
seat.
That is something we did not mention. We made it to Lebanon, Tennessee, which is, by the way, hometown, or not hometown, but where Gretchen Wilson's from, Wilson County, Tennessee, in Lebanon, Tennessee. I always stop at the Pilot there. That's one of the stops, gas and stuff every time I go to Tennessee. It's about 30 miles east of Nashville, and we were supposed to meet Jesse and Nell for lunch. And at the Crow's Nest?
Yes, I believe
Crow's
that's it.
Nest. Awesome place to eat if you go to Nashville, Crow's Nest. It's pretty good food there. Anyway, I pull up to the gas station, everything's riding fine. I go and I put my gas in. I go to start my bike, no power, no lights on, no nothing, can't push start it, can't do, just won't even turn over. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So I've been having a problem anyway with the contacts staying tight on my battery. So I got to figure out a game plan for that. But and luckily it ended up Donnie was there. We had some tools. We took some stuff apart, and actually ended up being a
Connector?
it was
Is that-
the not the positive but the negative, the ground wire.
Yeah.
The ground wire was loose to the coming into the battery. So we had to. It was actually getting a little corroded too, so we had to sand off a little bit of that and then put it on. And I may have to get a new battery again because that battery's been in there since I had the bike, and I'm pretty surprised it's lasted this long. But we finally got it back up and running after about 10-15 minutes and got back on the road. So that was just a minor detail, but it just goes to show that that's why I carry tools with me on my bike, and I carry, you know, some extra little stuff in case we have an issue. I try to carry, I want to start carrying some spare parts, little fuses, different things, in case something like that happens. And I'm glad we had Donnie there to help me out with it. Because I do tend to get a little frustrated when stuff breaks down. I think it's
that escalates with the language.
I don't like.
Oh my
I don't like to be
God.
stuck anywhere. I don't like to be sitting. I like to be riding and moving along. And we had time limits that we had to make, and I was getting frustrated. So I don't like breaking down. Especially after I brag that my bike don't break down when I'm riding with Harley guys that break down.
Right.
And then I break down.
Yeah.
And then the Harley guy got to help me fix my bike.
Yeah.
So, Donnie, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you riding with us. Hector was going to ride with us, but as I said, Hector was a vendor, so he actually drove his truck and trailer and hauled his bike down in the trailer along with his merchandise for the store.
Yeah.
So he didn't get a chance to ride with us.
Right.
But be sure to look us up on Twitter. I should have had this wrote down, but I'll post a link to it at the end of this video, so you can go to Twitter and sign up and follow us. Just follow, and we post motorcycle rides in the North Carolina area.
Yeah.
If you have any motorcycle rides that you have coming up in the North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia area, South Carolina area, we border Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. We could get to any of those pretty quickly.
Yeah, so we're pretty close to all of those here in Western North Carolina. We're on the little thin piece of North Carolina on the end.
Yeah.
So near actually close. We're probably closest to the Tennessee line, right? Tennessee
yes,
line.
Absolutely.
So we're very close to the Tennessee line. Probably not 20 miles. 20, 30 miles? Maybe?
Yeah.
20, 30 miles from Tennessee line. So we're not that far away.
Mm-mm.
So we hope you like this. We're going to try to do one, like I say, once a week. It's very hard for us to get to do this together because we have a lot of things to do around the house. We still haven't finished unpacking for moving into the new house.
No.
And our work schedules are so diverse. I work nights and days. She works mostly days, but some weekends, and people call out, she's got to fill in, and it's just, we hardly ever see each other.
The joys of being on call 24/7.
So we don't get the time to actually sit down. And when I do want to make a video, because I like making videos a lot, in case you don't know, she's really tired and doesn't feel like doing it sometimes because she wants to rest, which I understand that.
Yeah.
I do understand that.
I'm not just going to get in front of a camera without.
She's all worried about makeup and hair and all that.
Yeah, I'm not going to look like a
Look like a biker
grunge
chick.
bug.
Look like a biker chick. Just put some, just wet your hair down, slick it back.
Oh, Lord.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll just get me a hat and wear it backwards
All
like
you gotta
you
do
right
is
now.
look. First of all you gotta do is put a bikini on, and they won't even worry about the hair.
You won't have
and
to
the
worry
makeup.
about
They
how
won't-
many people we get signed up. You goofball.
They wouldn't be looking at the hair or the makeup or none of that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
you're darn right.
So anyway, we are gonna get out of here and go watch a movie, and like I say, later tonight, I'm gonna edit this, and then we're gonna put our first actual true show session on YouTube.
All right.
So you ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. We appreciate you sitting through the whole video. If you did, if you didn't, well, you
Thanks.
lost out.
Yeah.
Because two of the best people on the internet are right here.
That's right.
So y'all take care.
Have a good night.
We live from North Carolina. So if anybody gets in the Western North Carolina area, contact us through YouTube or contact us on Twitter, and we can meet up, have coffee or whatever, a dinner, coffee, whatever. If you're traveling through,
Beer.
stop by. A beer.
You would have a beer. I drive.
Yeah, she's my designated driver if I do
Exactly.
drink. I don't drink much, and I
No,
will not.
no.
I will not. She will tell you. I will not even drink one beer and ride a motorcycle. I will not do that.
No, you will not.
I actually will not even drive a car drinking one beer. So,
That's right.
I don't do that. If I'm drinking, I'm sitting. So, or somebody else like her's driving, which she'll be drinking water most of the time when I do have a drink.
Yeah.
So, and we work together on that because if she wants to have a margarita at a Mexican place, then I won't drink any alcohol. So I drive. So, I'm very, 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 very adamant about that because I've seen too many people on motorcycles go to poker runs and different things, bar hop from bar to bar. And by the time they're done, they can't hardly hold the bike up.
Yeah.
I don't want to get killed. I don't want her to get killed. I don't want anybody else out there getting killed. So please, people, please, do not drink and ride a motorcycle, especially. It's bad enough in a car, but on a bike, no, don't do it. Do not do it. I'm very adamant against that. So,
Alrighty.
all right,
We
well,
out of here?
I think it's a wrap.
All right. Good night.